How you doing? Just wanted to let you know how cool you are. Speaking of rap music, Jay-Z was in my hometown from Houston a couple of days ago, and I actually chose this event over his concert. I'm in a bit of a quandary of thought over something that happened to me a few months ago. I know a few years ago, when you speak about something that you don't want, one thing that I didn't want being a bachelor was a kid. And it's about 7, 8 years ago, my son's mom came to me with the pregnancy test and told me she was pregnant. So that was a life-changing event for me. But I've had a great experience with that. My son, that's my little best friend. And me and his mom, we had a rough start at first, but we've kind of gotten to a place where we can co-parent, and that's peaceful now. Being a little bit older and wiser from that experience a few years ago, another thing that I didn't think that I wanted was like a committed relationship, being a bachelor. And a few months ago, that kind of hit me in the face as well. I met somebody and, I woke up one day and I was like, man, this feels different. This connection that I have with this person is a lot different than I thought it was going to be. So everything was great. We had moments to kind of get to understand each other and things of that nature. A few months ago, she told me she was pregnant. This time I was ready, and I actually wanted this experience. I remember little boys, growing up, they love their moms. So I'm used to my son wanting to be with me when he wants to play sports or ride the bike or throw the football. But, if he scratches himself or something, if he falls, he wants to go to his mom. So I wanted to manifest for myself. I wonder what it's like to have a little girl. And I hear that experience is different. In the moment of truth, when this particular individual, told me she was pregnant, she didn't offer a space where I felt that I was in the decision process. When she told me she had already decided that she was going to get an abortion. She comes from a church background, and I guess that not being married would not look good for her particular situation. So I didn't speak up during that time that, hey, no, I want you to keep the child, because I just felt that she had already made the decision. When she called, she was like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just calling to let you know that this is my decision, and, so that's pretty much it. So after this experience, I kind of felt some emotions with that, because I felt like I didn't speak up for the child. And if that child is source energy as well, and wanted a physical manifestation, am I responsible for not, or influencing the situation to be different? Did I limit the child from having an experience? Me and the mother, we're not in a space now where we're talking. After that situation, our relationship kind of dissolved. I'm okay with letting go of that, but I feel like I didn't use my voice in that situation, and I don't know if the child is upset, or should I have said something, or...
Well, we have a lot to talk about here, and we're wanting to find a beginning place, so just relax. This is going to be really beneficial and helpful to you and to everyone. The most significant thing that we want to start with is by reminding you that as things manifest in your experience, that your response to them, if you are like most physical beings, is about things that you've picked up along your physical trail. Those beliefs that we've been talking about are all twirled up within you, and there are so many different conversations that you could be in. There are so many discussions around this about relationships and about pregnancies and about abortion and about religion. There's even something that might be pointed out about a religion that wants marriage before sex, but that abortion is not a problem. When you start trying to sort out the rightness and wrongness as humans are defining it, you're not ever going to find your way, ever, 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 ever. Beliefs come along, and to the degree that you are in harmony with your beliefs, then your life sort of revolves around them. But you can tell, you can feel, and you've demonstrated through your words about what you've been living, about how life as it presents itself to you causes you to come to different conclusions about different things. You are changing and evolving and becoming all of the time, and that is as it should be. So the next thing that we want to say is that often when we visit with those like you all, there are large numbers of what we call teachers present in the room. Those who want to uplift, those who want to understand, those who want to know, and those who want to impart knowing. And often they want to learn about spirituality. They want to bridge their religion into something that's more personal or more spiritual. So we talk to a lot of them about how they might uplift or help other people. And something that is very common in these conversations that we have with them is they are wanting to teach the right thing to this one or that one or this one or that one. And often as they talk to us about someone that they care about who's in some particular quandary or problem about something, and this is the part that we really, really want you to hear. We always say to them, every single person is an extension of source energy. And every single person has an inner being who is flowing to them. And every single person has an inner being who is flowing and wanting to call them to their path of least resistance for all that they desire. Every single one of them. And then we say to these teachers, these well-meaning teachers, if this person is asking, and if their inner being is answering, and those things are always true, and they are not hearing, what makes you think they will hear you? It's not your job to be the guidance or counselor for anyone. It is your job to live your life, let life help you to evolve in the things that you desire. And once a desire is formulated within you, to follow that guidance and move toward that. But it is not your responsibility. And no one is, from the non-physical point of view, holding you in some sort of light of wrongdoing about the co-creative process that you are involved in. Those things are all assigned from the spin-off of man's conscious mind as people are coming together in different combinations and wanting to control others. It is such an interesting thing. Most of that control comes through some form of religion because most people are not connected to their own guidance through their religion, but to some rules that have been assigned by someone else. And usually the rules go generally or something like this. If you want to join our club, you will be better off, they will say. They don't call it a club, but if you want to join us, you will be better off. But these are the rules you must keep. You must do these things and you must not do these things. And if you do these things and you don't do those things, then you will be blessed, then you will thrive. And so people follow along with that because they are well-meaning. They want to be good. They want to do good. They want to do what is good. And they want somebody to tell them what it is. Most of you really think that you'd like a long list that you would like to keep until something on it isn't what you want to do. And then you're looking for another list somewhere. That's why there are so many religions. So you do your best to keep those rules. You do what they say to do and you don't do what they say not to do. But then you're not all that blessed. Things are hard for you. And then you look around and you see other people who appear to be being blessed, who you know aren't keeping those rules. So then you say, what's going on here? And they say, oh, one thing we forgot to tell you. You can't tell by the things that you are doing here in this life. You have to wait until you get into the afterlife, and then you will find out how well or not well you have done. Well, what kind of guidance is that? You have an inner being, and so does your girlfriend, and so does everyone. You have inner beings who are loving you always, knowing where you stand always in relationship to the expansion that you are discovering, who are always calling you. And so these experiences that you have described, when we say to you what you are creating is you. So you had an experience and something that you didn't know you wanted, which was friendship and harmony with this little guy that's in your life. So you didn't know the avenue through which it would come, that it would be delightful to you. But as the manifestation occurred, it gave you a new set of experiences from which to launch your next desire. And like everyone, you discover that there are things in your vortex that you don't even know are there. Your inner being knows that they are there. And so you are called and guided toward inspired behavior. And don't think that wasn't, that led to the physical expression of your son. And through that experience, then you're standing in another place where now you have another set of contrasting experiences where you came to other conclusions. But this is the thing that we so want you to hear. Do not assume that once you've decided that you sort of kind of want something, as you did. Maybe I'm willing to have this baby, and maybe I would like this baby to be a girl rather than a boy. In other words, those feel like things that you are defining. All of that is still in the vortex. You see what we're getting at? The fact that it didn't come to fruition through that particular avenue doesn't mean that it is not still in your vortex. And most of all, it does not mean that you are not still blessed. And next of all, it does not mean that anyone else in the scenario isn't either. Are you following? You are evolving in your desires, and that's a good thing. And if you are not allowing yourself, or seemingly allowed by others, turns out they have no control, but they'd like to think they do. If you are not allowed to have an experience of what you don't want, how are you going to know what you do want? You can't know what you want other than through life experience. And when desire is born within you, no matter how it comes, it is a very good thing. And life is always flowing. We promise you, there is no shortage of physical avenues for non-physical consciousness to come forward. Humans believe in shortage consciousness. They believe in not enough money. They believe in one finite pie that you're all scrabbling over and fighting over. They believe in time shortageness and space shortageness. And in this example, they even believe in fetus shortageness. They believe in shortageness, and it's the guidelines by which they wish to guide so many of you. We think that you are understanding enough about your own guidance system and about what your emotions are telling you. And you are well situated enough in understanding that this is a vibrational universe, that you can continue to live life and come to your conclusions about what you want. And it is our desire that here today, that what you're hearing in all of this conversation is that there is a whole lot that's in your vortex that you cannot even consciously describe. Because life experience causes you to put pieces there that come together and form relationships and attract other things, so that there's an evolution even of your own desire that you often can't articulate or really understand. Such as the way you feel about your son. Didn't see that coming, but your inner being did. You see what we're getting at? And so let's not make too much of all of this. Let's not try to hold each other to some sort of rules that are made up by man in order to support some economic values that they're trying to accomplish. Let's let everybody come into vibrational alignment with who they are. Let Source feel about you the way Source feels. But in order for you to feel that love, you can't harbor thoughts about wrongdoing. You've got to get into the receiving mode to know how Source feels. And you must not have been quite allowing that, or you wouldn't be asking us what's going on with all of this, you say.
Yes.
Yeah. You can't get it wrong, and you will never get it done. And the reason that it can't be wrong is because it's never done. Because there's constantly a new awareness, a new decision that's being born, you say. You were not sent here to fail or to prove worthiness. You came as an extension of loving Source energy, wanting to explore this time and space so that you could come to personal conclusions and then find vibrational alignment so that you could experience the joy of witnessing things coming into alignment, because you are molding them into place through the power of your own mind, you see. All is well with you. Something more?
No.
Don't forget to leave a positive message and subscribe.